G'day, Johnny Carlton.
G'day, mate. How are you?
How are you? Welcome to everybody to After the Game. We are HFD Footy, and this is episode 3 of After the Game, our Sunday night show with King of the North and Johnny Carlton. We nearly had a no-show, but the man has turned up for the show. I'm so happy. So welcome to the show tonight, and welcome to everybody in the chat on YouTube. We are live on YouTube and live on TikTok. So thank you everybody for joining us. How have you been, my friend?
Yeah, look, bit of an interesting week, not going to lie. But apart from that, very busy, to be honest. So I think you're going to carry the show, King, because I didn't watch a lot of footy this weekend, unfortunately.
That's okay.
So I think it's going to be up to you to carry the show. But yeah, look, apart from that, I'm all right. Guys, thank you in the chat for whoever's in there. Thank you. We appreciate it. Me and the King really do on TikTok. Welcome. Yeah, as I said, King, episode 3. It's already been episode 3. I just remember us saying, "Oh, we're going to create a show." Now we're already into episode 3.
Exactly,
it's crazy.
right. I know. So that's fantastic. So yeah, we've got Jamar, Ree, Toby, all our regulars in on YouTube, and I've got to tell you something. You know our man Sad Sandwich over on TikTok. He actually created a YouTube account just to come and watch our shows and watch alongs.
Yeah.
How good is that?
That is beautiful.
So he was in on the weekend as well. So during the watch alongs, that was awesome. So thank you to Sad Sandwich if you're over on TikTok at the moment. We really appreciate your support. We'll talk about St Kilda a little bit. We'll talk about some of the games, all the games over the weekend. It was a weird round, really. So, starting on, we may as well get straight into it. But starting on Friday night, Collingwood and Geelong, and Geelong wins by 20 points. It's I just think the injuries have got to Collingwood. They got probably another injury on this game as well. But I've got to give credit. I've watched Geelong now 2 weeks in a row, and they're going all right. So to be able to be sitting where they're sitting on the ladder, pretty solid in the top 8 now. And I just don't think that that the Magpies are making the 8. What do you think after this round?
Look, before I talk about the game, a lot of teams really were disappointing for me this week, and then there were a lot of teams that shocked me, and I was very surprised with. And one of them was Geelong. Look, obviously I was home Friday night. I had work the next morning, so I didn't want to do anything. So I got rugged up, sat in the lounge room, watched the game. Look, to be honest, obviously I love watching Collingwood lose, as everyone knows.
Yep.
Johnny Carlton loves watching Collingwood lose, but I actually tipped the Pies. I actually thought Collingwood was going to win, and that was another team that disappointed me this week.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I think it was Collingwood's 2010 Premiership reunion as well, so I thought that was going to give them a bit of spirit. All the old players was there for the banner. I just felt like this had to be a Collingwood win, or else their season is in limbo.
Oh, had to be, yeah.
Yeah, but no, look, Geelong came out firing, and as I said, they got the win again. Look, a couple of weeks ago, I read off Geelong after the Carlton game because I was personally there and I saw Geelong play.
Yep.
I said to him, Geelong are not making the finals. There's no chance. And then after that, they've beat Hawthorn, Essendon and Collingwood in the next 3 weeks, nearly all top 13 teams who are playing for finals. So, yeah, look, Geelong, they're there and they're making the real deal. They're going to go up against another top 13 team next week. So we'll see how they go, but I think they should win that too. But, yeah, look, Geelong surprised me on the weekend. And, yeah, look, Collingwood, they're in trouble. They're out of the 8. A lot of teams have been playing way better than Collingwood, and there's only 6 more games left for the season. So they're gonna find a win somehow, and they're going up against Carlton, Sydney, and Brisbane in the coming weeks too. So
exactly,
if they're gonna win, if they're gonna make finals, they're gonna win these next couple of games. But yeah, look, as I said, King, not much to say. I thought Dacos was a bit quiet than usual. But Geelong, the whole team, like Shannon Neal has been really good up for them after Tom Hawkins has left.
Yep.
Ollie Dempsey, he is a player. I like Ollie Dempsey. He has grown into a player. And just, look, Geelong Danger looked like he was...
I reckon he's had his best game on Friday night. He was he was everywhere. Such a good player. Yeah.
Yeah, Geelong's now changed some things. De Koning looks good in the ruck. Dangerfield looks like he's 10 years younger. So, yeah, look, as I said, not much about the game. But, yeah, Geelong were better than Collingwood on the 9. That's why they got the win. So
that's it. G'day to everybody in TikTok. Just seeing lots of people coming in. And Jordan is go the Bulldogs. He's a happy Bulldog supporter. Yeah, good. Welcome to everybody in TikTok. So yeah, well, I just don't know. They keep on saying, "Oh, don't write Collingwood off," but surely they've, injuries have got to be the thing that just gets them this year. So even Dacos was holding his hammy as well. So I don't know whether that's going to come of anything or not. But
no, he's fine.
If he goes,
he's fine. He got a corky. He's fine. So
he's all right then. That's all right. All righty. Well, let's have a look at the next game. So we have the Dockers and the Hawks, and this is down in Tassie. And I actually watched this one. Chris C did a watch along for this, and the Hawks won by 13 points. Now, the Dockers actually took it to the Hawks. They didn't. They turned up to play, and they were there to play. It wasn't like the Hawks were on top of them all game. It was back and fro all game. But far out, man. These Hawks are, going all right.
Look, as I said, I only watched the first 3 quarters because obviously I was going to the Carlton Bulldogs game. But yeah, look, Freo, they're a top 4 team before the game started, so they were in the top 4. So obviously they're no easy beats. But yeah, Hawthorn just looked too good in Tasmania, and I tipped the Hawks. So I actually got that one right.
Yeah, I got that one right too, out of many that I got wrong. So
exactly, yeah. No, I tipped the Hawks, and look, they're now. They said, if they lose this week, then we're down to 12 teams, and we just don't see Hawthorn getting there. But if Hawthorn win, then there's still 13 teams left trying to find the 8. And they're there. They're equaled with Collingwood. And big game next week, Hawthorn-Collingwood.
Oh, that's massive. Game. That's going to be massive, isn't it?
Big game. So, yeah, look, Hawthorn, after a win, that's giving them confidence. They could knock off the Pies next week. But
for sure. Yep.
As I said, yeah, look, Freo, I wouldn't ride Freo off. It was obviously going up against Hawthorn when they're okay. In Tasmania, it's hard to beat Hawks up there. They're a very good team. That's where they play their best footy, Hawthorn. But yeah, look, Freo, they gave him a contest, but unfortunately Hawthorn, they needed it more than Freo did, and they got the win. So
that's right. And having Sicily back in the side just makes such a difference, doesn't it?
makes a big impact.
They grow an extra leg. Yeah, they were really good. What's going on with Ginnivan though?
Yeah, I don't know. He's been out for a couple of weeks. I think, I don't know, just maybe form. I think he's injured, actually. So
Is he?
I'm not.
I didn't know whether it was
injured.
like reprimand or whether it was anything like that or injury. So if you're a Hawk supporter and you know, let us know in the chat in TikTok or YouTube. But no, the Hawks are marching on, and mate, it's going to be they're going to be. You don't want to be playing them like getting into the if they get into the finals. You don't want to be taking Hawthorn on, that's for sure. So
we've got him in a couple of weeks. So
you do. Yeah, that's going to be a good test. So
it won't be an easy game, that's for sure. So
that's it. Yeah. Well, the next game was the Swans and North, and the Swans in the end made it a very convincing win up there in Sydney, 79 points. But look, North actually started the game okay. So they took it to the Swannies in the first two quarters, but eventually they got their act together. But any shaky signs you see from Sydney?
Look, this was the first game I obviously didn't watch of the weekend, so I wouldn't say much. I saw Sydney obviously get the win. So yeah, look, obviously I can't. I need to catch up on my footy. Obviously, I'm going to watch a little bit of replays this week just to see how teams play because I obviously been flat out this week. But look, as much as I can't say, I thought this was Sydney's game to say, hey, look, we're still here. We're still on top of the ladder. This is why.
That's right.
But yeah, look, as I said, Sydney, look, North, they've been playing really good footy in the last couple of weeks, but going up against Sydney, top of the ladder over there, it's very hard. So, as I said, Freo did the unthinkable a couple of weeks ago, beating Sydney by a point over there. But, yeah, I'm sorry, Freo playing way better footy than North Melbourne are. But, yeah, look, North, as I said, I didn't watch it. I heard North Melbourne was in there for the first quarter. They were in the contest. But then, obviously, you know, Sydney just carried it away in the second half. And, yeah.
That's
so,
it.
Sydney get Heaney back next week too, so they're going to start finding some form towards the end of the season now. So,
but I think North are going to get a couple more wins before the
hopefully
end of the year.
Hopefully not this week.
Not this week. No, not this week. But yeah, I think they've got one or two more wins in them, so that'll be okay. They're going to be battling down the bottom there with Richmond, but. They played all right today as well. I'm going to skip the North next game because I just want to have a good chat to you about that. But yeah, last night we did. I did a watch along to Essendon and Melbourne, and we were flipping between. I had the scoreboard up for Adelaide and St Kilda, and it was raining. It was wet. It was both like in Adelaide and in Melbourne, and in Adelaide it was absolutely pissing down, and. I've never talk about wet weather footy, like it was disgusting conditions. So for those guys to get through that game as they did, but yeah, we'll talk about Saints. Saints got beaten by Adelaide. Adelaide got the victory by 32 points, and look, St Kilda actually took it to Adelaide in the first half, and it was only. I don't know. Some of the senior players, Saligo had a blinder. They managed to fight in the end, but far out, man. They couldn't hold the ball. It was just shocking conditions. The highlight for me was Ross Lyon smashing the phone. So in the box. So he smashed it twice. He's wrapped it up with tape and then he bloody smashed it again. So he was losing it as well. But just crazy. But did you see any of this last night?
No, I was coming home from the Carlton game. I saw it was a very low scoring game for a bit.
Yeah.
And then I saw Adelaide just kicked away at the end. So
yeah.
Yeah, look, we know a lot of Adelaide supporters, King, so we know that they're happy this week.
They are.
Shout out to the big bear, Riley Thorthorpe. First game back, and he kicked 2 goals after injury. I love the bear.
That's massive. That's massive, isn't it? Yeah. You were talking him up last week as well. So,
yeah. I wanted to see him in the action, and he was, so good to see. But yeah, as I said, this was probably the easiest game to tip, to be honest. I thought Adelaide was going to win this easily. So,
Yeah.
look, St Kilda were brave last week against Sydney, but as I said, their season's over. Adelaide's season's over, so it wasn't really a much game. Both teams just wanted to get a win before the season ended. So
That's right.
Adelaide
Yeah.
was in their home ground, so yeah, easy win for the Adelaide, comfortable win for Crows.
Well,
So,
what happened last year with the Crows? They started to get a few wins at the end of the season as well, and started to get a bit of form coming into the end of the season.
it just wasn't enough. Obviously, that Sydney controversial game last year, and they could have made the 8, but
That's right, but that was given J Crom some confidence about his team coming into the new seasons as well. It looks like it's like a carbon copy of what's happened last year. If they start to get a bit of a roll on now and get a few wins, there's a good chance they'll win this weekend as well. So yeah, who knows? He came back from Genwell's just saying he came back from an injury and missed the team song for some reason. No, he who got somebody got made to do laps. Thrillthorpe?
was it Thurso? Was it the Big Bear?
Yeah, so he didn't make his kilometers and he got made to do laps and he missed the song at the end.
Wow.
He was out in the pouring rain doing laps after the game.
Wow. Was he the sub?
I don't know. Was he the sub Genwell? So yeah, it was just weird. I was talking to Chris about it today, and he's like, yeah, he was doing laps after the game and missed.
Yeah.
And didn't get the song. So
A lot of subs will do that. If they don't get enough game time, they will have to obviously run their laps so they don't get injured and stuff like that. So It makes sense.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other one that I watched was me and Gavin were on the other stream watching the Lions game. That's right. So J Mar's waiting for the Lions commentary, and I'm sure you've watched that one. But last night I did the watch along for Essendon and Melbourne, and mate, to be honest, the way that Essendon played, and you'll be so friggin' happy about this, and to all our TikTok Essendon supporters, Johnny Carl will be rapt about this. But what a pathetic performance by Essendon, to be honest. No Gawn, and give credit to Melbourne, they played really well, but yeah, what is going on with Essendon? Should have come out and really just if they were a top 4 side, then they should have just come out and beaten Melbourne well. But when I was doing the stats during the game, it was like they're not even winning the centre with Gawn not even there. So It was like I just don't know where they're at now. Are they? Well, Gemwell saying they're pretenders. You're also saying they're pretenders too, Johnny. So yeah, it was really like I've got a mate at work who's a Essendon supporter. I had another mate who was messaging me as well last night, going, "What the hell is this crap that they're bloody serving up?" But look, it was raining at the beginning of the game. It started to pour rain at the SCG. It's always like it's really hard football when it's raining at the G. So yeah, but Melbourne just were much better. Much better, and yeah, really concerning signs for Essendon, I think.
Well, yes. Look, as I said at the start of the show, a lot of teams disappointed me, and this was another team that disappointed me. Actually, two of my arch rivals disappointing me. I actually tipped the Bombers as well. I actually thought Essendon was going to win without Gawn and Petrarca
for sure. Yeah.
Look, I wasn't happy. I'm going to say, obviously, you know why? Just the game before, so I was not happy last night.
Yep.
But yeah, one thing they brought me a little smile seeing that result, seeing the Demons. So Demons, thank you for smiling. Thank you for making me smile a bit after beating Essendon, because obviously I don't like Essendon, so it was good to see. And yeah, like as I said, like everyone else has been saying, they're pretenders, mate. They can't beat the good sides.
Everybody's saying it now. Yeah.
They can't beat the good sides, mate. And as I said, now they're out of the top 4. Yeah, I think this is where you'll see Essendon fly down. In their song it says fly up, but I think they're flying down, mate. I think they're think their jet's flying down, and I think it's going to crash soon. So
Yep, there we go. Harvey
But
Milk.
yeah, look,
Harvey
Melbourne.
Milk is asking,
Melbourne.
HFD, are you the king of the North? No, I'm not. HFD isn't the king of the North. No. So there we go. Sorry,
But
mate.
yeah,
Go on.
As I said, Melbourne. Yeah, look, they surprised me. No Gore, no Petrarca, and they just looked too good.
How good
Cosy
was
Pickett
that?
looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, May and Lever looked really good in the back line. As I said, Melbourne just looked really good. Now, I mean, if they can bring it up for the next 3 weeks by when Gorn comes back, then they could play finals, mate. They could actually play finals. I was riding off Melbourne a couple of weeks ago too. Now that's 2 teams I've ridden off, and now they're in the top 8. So
exactly
crazy.
Nathan,
Crazy
Nathan,
what
Nathan, we're saving the Carlton game till last, so yes, we will be talking about that. Yeah, and Waitman comes back for an injury and has an absolute beauty again. So he was a really good performer as well for Melbourne. So yeah, you just can't pick Melbourne or the Bulldogs, can you? As far as like week to week, you keep saying, are they going to be which same as Port today? Which Port are we going to get as well? Like what a shocker! But yeah, good on Melbourne, and yeah, quite a good win, and big test for Essendon now, that's for sure.
Wow. Yes, big test. Yeah, as I said, pretenders, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
There we go. Yep. All right. So
now look,
we went. Sorry,
the next 3 games, which is today, I did not watch nothing. So all up to you. I didn't even watch my Brisbane. Like, I like Brisbane, and I didn't even get to watch them. So all up to you, mate. I did not watch one bit.
All right. No worries. Well, what we got, me and Chris C did a watch along for Port Adelaide and Gold Coast today.
Yeah.
And it was the crap Port Adelaide that turned up this week. We didn't get last week's Port Adelaide turn up at all. And it was mistake-ridden, falling over, smashing into each other, Port Adelaide today. So it was really disappointing. Chris C wasn't happy on the stream, but to the Gold Coast credit, they were at home and they win again. So
yeah, they win again.
They win again. They just keep on winning. So. Mate, if they could have won a few away games, mate, they'd be well and truly in the 8 by now.
They would. They would, 100%.
So yeah, I just don't know. Like I've been watching Port Adelaide for a long time now, and we've been watching a lot of games of theirs every week, and I don't know where they're gonna go. Like, are they gonna just go tumbling out of the 8 once the whips are cracking in a few weeks' time? Are they just going to go tumbling out, and then your Bulldogs or your Melbourne or your even Hawthorn come flying into the 8? They've got themselves in a position now where they're back with that pack now, so they're stuck in that pack. So they're going to have to fight harder because they were crap for a couple of games, and it's unbelievable. Like. They got some injuries today. Sorry,
okay, so watching the game, who do you think? Obviously, I didn't know anything. So, who do you think were Port's best today? Who do you think, like, top 3 players for Port? Who do you think played well?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Who disappointed you? How did Dixon go? Any goals for Dixon?
Dixon, no good. No. So he was there, but he was just fumbling, falling over. Too slow. They were just. He was behind all the players all the time, and even Chris said like it's just time to go for him. So he took a couple of marks and kicked a goal, but for a big forward like that, like you can't just be behind all the players all the time. Ali was better this week. Horn Francis was good. Butters tried really hard, but Home Alone didn't have a great game. He made a lot of mistakes. They got a couple of injuries as well. So yeah, that was a bit of a problem. There's a concussion. One got concussion and was off for the game. I can't remember what his name was, but Chris C will remind me in the chat. And one of the the Gold Coast players got reported, so he's probably going to get a week because he went into a tackle and collected the head with the shoulder, very similar to the Dangerfield tackle. So and he had to be taken off and he couldn't come back on. So
okay.
So yeah, there was that. But yeah, they were just they couldn't and credit to the Gold Coast as well. So they stopped the run of Port. They were able to get out of their back line well and down the wing and get into the 50 really well. So they were able to just find more space than Port could. And I don't know how Port are going to fix that issue now. They just can't seem to. They're just sort of bombing it up to hope for the best in a way. So I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going to do. I don't know whether it's the coaching, whether it's the players, or what it is. But yeah, they really needed to beat the Suns today to get a solid five position pretty much and lock that in.
Well, it's not that easy being Gold Coast at home, Kings. So
not at all.
No one has.
Nobody
no
has.
them, so.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So credit to the Gold Coast Suns for the performance that they put on, and they go and get another win. So yeah, well done. And then what I did, I was watching. I went over here. I come over to HFD Footy, to our new channel over here on YouTube, and I did a watch along for GWS and Richmond.
Oh wow! Okay.
What we're trying to do, we want to do one watch along and just pick a game. And I did West Coast last week, and I picked Richmond this week, just as just to pick one. So I did that watch along, and it was a hard watch. But GWS wasn't. Let me just give you the score. It was the Giants won by 24 points. So
wow, okay.
108 to 80, 108 to 84. Now Richmond really played well. Like, I've got to give credit to Richmond, and of course having the advantage at the MCG. There was nobody at the MCG today. It was the arena was empty. So yeah, there wasn't that many. There was just the diehard supporters who were there. So yeah, but no, they kept with them. They were only about 15 points away for most of the game. So it wasn't the GWS that played at home against Port, who turned up to play against Richmond. So otherwise it would have been a flogging. But yeah, they got away with the...
You mean Carlton, right?
No. Who played when they played Port? Remember they played Port? Oh no, when they played Carlton. Sorry, yeah. When they played Carlton, when they played Carlton at home. That's right. Sorry, it wasn't the same team. So same players, obviously, but they just didn't come with that. Like that was GWS at their best. I thought when I seen them play that game, but nah, they were good. Richmond were just tried hard. The coach was like, there was a young bloke who, I can't remember what his name was, but he kicked 3 goals, and I think it was on his debut as well. He hadn't kicked like of his debut goals as well, not just in the AFL. Yeah. So that was good, and yeah, it was good signs for Richmond. Like Richmond are bad, but yeah, it was good. It was a good fight. They put up a good fight against GWS.
Well, this was my bold call of the week, actually.
It was.
So I wasn't that bad. 24 points. I was expecting a lot more, to be honest. But...
And they only got that 24 points like in the last couple of minutes. Like they only kicked an extra goal or two in the last couple of minutes. So it was pretty close all the way through. And in the last quarter, Richmond kicked 3 in a row and like were coming. And we thought, hang on a minute, here we go. Bold call could be coming true, but GWS sort of went, hang on a sec, we've got to get this one. So they really look at the position on the 8 they've got now after getting this win. So yeah, it's they lost the game in the third quarter. Richmond letting in easy goals. Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, no, it was good. It ended up being a good game. It was a bit boring at the beginning. It was just it was a hard yakka. There was a bit of rain, but yeah, it ended up being okay. So yeah, not a bad result actually.
Oh,
And
good to
then
know.
the final game, and you didn't see your second favourite team go around, but
No, I didn't. I was kind of. I heard it was close though. I heard it was close. My mates were there. They were texting me in the chat.
they would have
Our
been
normal chat
would
are
have
like,
been
oh my
worried.
god.
Yeah,
But I knew they won, so up the Lions. They're my second favorite team, so I was
it.
a bit happy there. But yeah, I heard it was a close game, so I didn't watch any of it. But I was
Yeah.
at a wedding today, so I couldn't watch any games. But
Yeah,
yeah.
no, J Mar's favourite team as well. So they've won by 13. But if I was a
13, wow,
they only won by 13 points. And West Coast were coming in that last quarter. They were goal after goal after goal, and then Brisbane just managed to get a couple at the end and get away with the win. But yeah, no, West Coast turned up to play today, which was good. And it was a hard battle all the way through. They did lead in the first quarter, and yeah, Brisbane had to fight for the win today. So yeah, it was pretty good game. So yeah, Jamar's been waiting for us to mention his Brisbane side. So there you go, Jamar, and yeah, all the Brisbane supporters, congratulations to and Lohman. Lohman had a breakout game as well.
Oh, young Kai, yes.
Yeah. So
I'll watch the game a bit maybe tomorrow night after I get home from work. But yeah, okay, that was all. They're in the top 4 now. The Lions. I told you. I said a couple.
I can't believe how that's massive, man. How the hell do they do that?
I said 5-6 weeks ago. I said after they beat the Bulldogs, I go, I don't think they're losing another game, and they've won the next 5 in a row. So yeah, I don't see Brisbane losing another game. I just feel like they're gonna come home strong now.
Yeah.
So
you're exactly right. Exactly. So Jamar's saying the best for Brisbane were Neil, McCluggage, and O'Mac.
Oh, Oscar, big Oscar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were the best. So Oscar Allen for West Coast was superb. Again, what I was saying as well. So yeah, Harley Reid was quiet, and he gave away a stupid 50 at the bounce at one of the clearances in the centre, and he got inside the circle or something or other, and the umpires gave away a 50 and gave away a thing. So I reckon he's been ripped a new one for that. But yeah, they kept him contained today. But some of the other West Coast players really stood up today, and they played well. So yeah, that was pretty good.
No.
So what we've all been waiting for, and look, I've got to say, the chat has been like doing the watch alongs, and when we were watching the game, the chat was just wanting to know, like they were concerned for you, really, and just wanted to get your opinion about what was going on with the game. Yeah, you were the most popular man during the call, and everybody just wanted to know your opinion about what you think is happening. Look, the Bulldogs are okay, so we are going to talk about our last game, and this is what everybody's been waiting for. So Western Bulldogs win by 14 points, 100 to 86. But look, we did the watch along for this, and there's a lot of questions. There is a lot of questions about certain players, about their performance, and about what the hell is what they're doing. What is going on out there? What's going on out there? There seems to be, from just watching the game, there seems to be, I don't know whether it's dissent or whether it's bloody they've got issues with each other, or I don't know. It looks like there's like a bit of trouble in paradise as far as between the players out on the field itself. And I don't know whether I'm just like looking at that wrongly or not. I don't know. But you know, I was so happy. First goal scorer and 2 goals to Owie, so I was stoked about that. I'm just going, yes, you're guilty. He's back in the team. He's not the sub, so I was happy about that. That was good. Everybody in the chat was saying, why is the sub? It was Holland's the sub, wasn't it? Kennedy was the sub. Why was Kennedy the sub? That everybody in the chat was asking why was he the sub? They didn't understand why that was. When he came on, he went okay, but I don't know. Like, let's go back 3 weeks. De Koning then and De Koning now. It's like two different players. I'm not.
His injury. It's
his
hard.
injury that slowed him down, has it?
It is. I was there. I saw him in there. He had his whole leg taped up.
Did he really?
Last week you would see he was better than last week. All right, I'll give you that. He was better
much
than last week.
Much better last week.
I reckon he just needs to heal a bit more. I reckon he'll get there. But he played way better than last week, which I'm happy about. But as you were saying, keep going.
No, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to mention the big man because you are going to mention him. But yeah, everybody on TikTok, everybody on YouTube wants to know what you thought of the game. Obviously, very disappointing. But yeah, give us your thoughts about what happened. Were the Bulldogs good? Did you think the Bulldogs were good? And did they?
I'll start off with the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
right?
let's start with the Bulldogs. Yeah.
Before I talk about my beloved Blues, I'll talk about the Dogs.
Yeah.
Look, it's just we came up against a team that really needed that win more than we did. And they were fighting for a top 8 spot, and they needed to win this, or else they would be in trouble land. And they were playing for like their season was on their line, and they just looked faster than us. They looked better than us. They just were better than us. Clearly on the better day. I can't give you a better explanation. They were better than us.
Yep.
We made players look like absolute stars, which outrageous. But as I said, they just look better, and they had outs too. And they still look that good without outs as well. They didn't have Norton. They didn't have Chalor. Chalor was a laid out.
Yeah.
And they still look that good.
I know.
So, look, full credit. As I said, I tell you about the Bulldogs week in and week out. There's a good Bulldogs and there's a bad Bulldogs.
There is.
And the last 2 weeks,
Every time.
it was exactly. Last week against Port Adelaide, they were terrible.
Terrible.
This week against us, they were amazing. It's just, they do it every week. They go good, bad, good, bad. They can never be consistent, the Dogs. But yeah, look, that's all I'm going to say about the Bulldogs. Before I speak about the Blues, my emotions was high. I was angry.
Yep.
Very angry. I was disappointed. I was furious. I was heartbroken. I was frustrated. It got to the point where I nearly got kicked out of Marvel Stadium.
Did you?
Yeah. I nearly got kicked out of Marvel Stadium. So it was bad. It was bad. So look, I was sitting where the Carlton race was. So when the players come out and when they go back in, so I was sitting right on top of the race.
Yep.
I was with my best mate and my 2 other mates, and they're Bulldog supporters. And I hate sitting with people that are the opposite team.
Yep.
Like, I actually hate it.
But they put up with you so well, Johnny Carlton, when your anger.
They did. So yeah, look, I was right in front of Owies when he kicked that first goal on the wing, on the pocket, and I've never cheered for Matty always that loud. I was giving him the thumbs up, I was giving him the fist pump, I was getting him going. he loves a goal, Matty always.
He loves it. Like, he does. Yep.
I said to my mate, I turned around, I'm like, thank God he's not the sub. Look what he's done in the first 5 minutes. He's kicked the first 2 goals. Yep. Look, before I speak about it, I'm just saying the reason why I'm a bit disappointed is it comes down to the coaches as well. I think the coaching has been perfect this year.
Yep.
Absolutely perfect. But the last 2 weeks have really questioned me. And I'm like, The last 2 weeks, I'm not really happy with the selections, to be honest. I think that's why we've both lost both games, because of selection.
Yep.
I still don't know why Georgie Hewitt wasn't playing. Like, he got 35 disposals, 27 contested in the VFL today. He's not VFL standard.
No.
He deserves to be in that team. Georgie Hewitt is a midfield bull. He stops that running flow. And I don't know if you watched the game, but whenever Carlton kick a goal, they'll kick a goal in the next 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It was just like straight away, boom, a reply.
I know. Yep, that's right.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Like, straight away, 30 seconds goal. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
All right. The moment of truth. Here we go. Obviously, it was Cripper's 200th, right?
It was.
And I said during the week, I'm like, if these boys do not get up for Cripper's 200th, I'll be very disappointed.
Exactly.
Very angry and disappointed. And I am. Like today.
I knew that would be your 100% main reason for being so upset with the team.
Like, it is. And look, the main reason Cripper has done everything for this club.
Yep.
All right. He's come in as a young kid when we were shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's taken us through the worst years of our lives in 2018 to 2019, where we finished last on the ladder and second last.
Yep.
He went through a year where we only won one game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let that sink in for you. He was there. He took the leadership that next year because no one wanted to.
Yep.
He wasn't a vice captain. He wasn't a captain. He was part of that leadership group because no one wanted to, because they're like, we wouldn't leadership this club after one win, but he did. And ever since then, All-Australian, captain, Brownlow medalist, about to reach his second this year. If he keeps going, Cripper, he might win a second Brownlow this year. He's done everything for this club.
Yep.
And for that, to dish up on his 200th game, was a disgrace.
It was.
He legit carried our whole team like yesterday on his back.
He did.
He was getting in. He kicked the goal. He fired the whole team up.
Yep.
And the whole other 22 boys disappointed him.
Yep.
I was there when the game ended. The boys asked Cripper, do you want us to lift you up? He said no.
Really? Did he really?
He said no. He's like, nah, boys, not happening. Why? Because he wanted that win.
Yeah,
he didn't care. He wanted that win. He's done everything for that club, and all he asked for was one win on his big occasion.
Yeah.
One win. The only thing now that I reckon should make up for Cripper not winning Cripper's 200th is taking that premiership home later in September.
Yep.
The only reason. Because those 21 gooses, Fruit Loops, as I say, were pathetic.
Yep.
All right? Harry Mackay, pathetic. First half, I thought Harry was good. Second half, absolutely pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Kerner, look, I don't know what Charlie was doing.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening with him.
I thought Weeders was good.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I didn't see Cottrell that whole game. He's come in the last 2 weeks, and I've seen him do nothing.
But he's been like what we seen weeks ago to now. Even Chincotta, he was missing last night.
He went to tag Bont. You don't tag Bont. I'm sorry, you do not tag Bont. That's where you need George Hewitt in the centre clearance, right next to him as a defensive midfielder. That's why you put Georgie Hewitt in the team.
Yep.
Let Chincotta go on Waitman. Let Chincotta go on someone that he can actually shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Like another silly decision by the coach. Cottrell, I didn't barely see, and I'm like, how's Cottrell in the game? Yep. When the 2 rucks didn't work. I seriously, these coaches don't know what they're on about. We needed 2 rucks last week against GWS.
Yep.
We didn't need 2 rucks against Bulldogs this week.
Yep.
Didn't need it. Pitternet was dreadful.
Yeah.
Didn't rate Pitternet's game too. Now, the most annoying thing I've watched Carlton the last 10 years. I've gone to every game, right?
Yep.
The thing I hated about Carlton was we always went down the line. We always kicked it up high and went down the line.
Yep.
The last 5 weeks before the GWS game, we didn't do that at all.
At all.
We took the game on.
Yeah.
We took the game on. We used the corridor. We were handballing. We were bursting out the midfield. This game just went back to 2018 Carlton, just bombing it down the line. Oh, Harry's there. Charlie's there. One of them will take the mark. On Cripper's 200th, you pull that shit up.
But it's
Really?
they were, like you said, they were doing that weeks ago, and then all of a sudden something's happened, and they've just changed and started bombing it in the air. Port Adelaide's the same. Port Adelaide have this good running game, and then all of a sudden they're just freaking bombing it up in the air, hoping for the best. And
Well,
it's just, I don't know. Yeah, you're exactly right.
what I think it is, I feel like we've got way too comfortable now. I feel like, oh yeah, Carlton's 2 games ahead of the rest.
Yep.
It's all right. We're still going to be in the top 4 by the end of the round. No. This is your time to take it.
That's right.
Make sure you're a game ahead. These next 12 people, the 12 teams below us, they're right there. They're not. They're
coming.
Still in the contest. We lose next week, we can drop down to 6th and 7th. Don't you understand, Carlton?
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah. Brisbane.
I feel like
after 3 wins, Brisbane are in 4th place.
Exactly.
Just like that.
Exactly. Just like that. Right?
Yeah.
Essendon started the round 3rd. Now they're 6th. Essendon could be out of the 8 at the end of the week next week. That's how close it is.
That's right. It is.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like, no offense to the Bulldogs, but this was a game at Marvel where we played nearly all year. This is the game where we know the ground. This is the game that we're not going up against a Sydney. We're not going up against a Freo. We're not going up against a full-strength Collingwood. Like, Bulldogs have been up and down, and you dish that up. Like, we're getting too comfortable with ourselves. Players are not trying. Charlie Curno's doing no second efforts. The boys are just slow. They don't care. There's second efforts. Like, in the 4th quarter, there was 3 people on Sam Darcy, and they just let Sam Darcy take a mark on the line.
I know.
And kick the first goal in the 4th quarter. That was the game over.
Yeah.
Cripper, at 3/4 time, was so angry in that group, and I feel sorry for him. Where's Walsh been the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, where has he been? Exactly.
Where's Chera?
Yeah.
Cripps is doing it all by himself in the midfield, and apparently we have the best midfield. If Cripps is getting tagged, this is where Walsh and Chera need to step up.
Exactly.
Right? This is where you see other players step up. They need to step up. You can't just rely on Paddy Cripps and Charlie Curnow every game.
You know what I've noticed, and I don't know whether it's just an accident that this has happened, but since Chera's been back, they've gone back to their old ways.
Exactly. And I've said that too. Ever since Chera come back, we've lost. And why? Because Voss said he'd rather Chera over Hewitt. That was his words.
Wow.
He'd rather Chera over Hewitt.
It's like chalk and cheese, man. Like when Chera wasn't in the team, mate, they were flying.
Clearly not working. Look, as much as Chera, he's a top 10 draft pick. He's a star. We gave up so much for Adam Chera, but he's just not delivering it for us. Yeah. And I'm disappointed in him. He needs that game. That was the game for him to go, I'm Adam Chera. I'm a midfield beast. Yeah. I can step up when Cripper and Walsh are not there.
That's right.
I don't have to hide behind Cripper and Walsh. And he just disappointed. Very disappointing.
He has disappointed the last 3 weeks.
Very disappointing. And as I said, it's just...
And what did you make? Just getting asked, what did you make of Akers? Did you think he played okay?
Look, I think Blakey, he's a soldier, Blakey. I actually thought Blakey was probably one of the top 5 guys that tried.
Yep.
I thought Wiedering was good as well, coming off a corky last week as well. I thought Wieders was really good. But apart from Wieders, I thought Sard was good too.
Sard was good.
Sard was really good. He shut down Waitman in the second half. Waitman didn't get nowhere near the ball. But apart from Sardi, Cripper, Akers, and probably Harry, the whole team was just very disappointing. Kennedy came on, disappointing.
Yeah. And I don't know why Curnow is missing in the first half of the last 2 games. I don't know
why. I've got a reason why. He's too comfortable now. He's top of the Coleman.
Yep.
Right. He's won it 2 years in a row. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'm just going to go for every single shot. He was so selfish on the weekend. We could have got 3 team goals.
Yep.
But he decided to kick it from 60 meters out. And don't get me wrong, he's done it so many times this year, and he's got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can see off one step he kicks it goal. Right.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen every single game, Charlie.
Last night it was behind. So yeah, and then the one that he kicked into the goalpost as well.
Oh, right in front.
Right in front. Yep. Nah, you can see him out on the field. He just doesn't look interested. I don't know what it is. And you reckon it's just being comfortable, do you?
Being comfortable. That's what I reckon it is. He's getting too ahead of himself, and he's just trying to win for himself. He's putting himself first instead of team effort. He's like, oh no, I'm a star. I want to win my third Coleman in a row.
Yep.
And I get it. Of course you want to win a Coleman.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Of course. And he is a star. And I'm not saying he's not a star. When I talk, I'm not discarding any players. I think every player is great.
Yeah.
All right? But there's just some games that I'm just very disappointed in. I thought Chera and Cottrell were just very disappointing, and I just don't think they deserve a game next week. That's just my opinion.
Yep.
And I thought
you're playing North, so you could, if they're smart, they would make some big changes to just see what's going on.
You know what I noticed, King? Well, you know what I noticed?
What's that?
When we don't have Mitch McGovern, this team is woeful in the defense. Woeful. Yeah. McGovern is like that third tall that intercepts. He's actually that beast. And without McGovern, like as I said, Marchbank, another one who I thought was not ready for AFL level.
Yep.
Oh, we missed McGovern so bad. And I just, as I said, I was very disappointed. I was, as I said, I nearly got kicked out of Marvel Stadium because this Bulldog supporter was just giving me shit all night. And it was just...
And McGovern, is he injured and coming back soon, or...?
He's supposed to come in this week, but it's against North. I don't know. I would rest him and make sure he comes back against Port.
Yeah.
The following week.
Yep.
But two players that I think deserve to be in this week is definitely George Hewitt.
Yep.
And I think Jesse Motlop. I think it's time for Motlop. He's been playing really good VFL in the last month, and I think we need to spark up that forward line. And Zach Williams got injured too, so that's another one.
That's true.
So. Yeah, I don't think Cottrell deserves a game. I think Williams doesn't deserve a game. Oh, obviously Williams is injured. I think Pitternet. I think there has to be a lot of changes this week. We need to see some new faces coming before finals.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, as I said, I think the coaches the last 2 weeks have got the team selection wrong, and it's look, I'm very disappointed. As I said, the only reason why I'm disappointed was Cripper's 200th, and we didn't get the job for it.
Yeah, no, I like, as you know, I haven't been a long-time Carlton supporter. I've only been supporting for the last couple of years, but yeah, it was for, like, even as a new supporter of Carlton, it was very disappointing for them to put on that performance. It wasn't good at all. So yeah. Anyway, next week, got to get the wins back on track. That's what's going to happen.
Well, has to. King, if we lose to North Melbourne next week,
you can't.
If we lose, if I'm there, obviously I am there. If I'm there and I see Carlton lose to North Melbourne right in front of my eyes,
no, it's not going to happen. You gotta get back on track.
Now, some teams are equal with us on second on the ladder. If they win,
before we go, I'm just about to have a quick look at the top 8. And
if they win next week and we lose, we could drop out of the 4. And we were 2 games clear like 2 weeks ago. And now we could drop out of the 4. It's just...
Yep.
Yeah, look, King, not happy. But I told you I'd come on the show, and I told you I'd tell you.
And I thank you very much for that. And I look, I understand exactly how angry you were, and I wouldn't be if you didn't want to come on. I wouldn't have. It would have been okay, but we've started this together, and I'm so happy that you've been able to come on and just been able to talk about it, because so many people wanted to know your opinion and what were you thinking and all that sort of stuff. So it's been fantastic. So thank you very much, mate. I understand your pain. I do. So you're a diehard, and it's just you love your team so much. So I get it. So
yeah, well, Carlton till I die, mate. That's my persona. That's what I go with every week. So
that's exactly
Carlton
right.
Till I die.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this ladder, shall we?
We shall. All right. So we've got Sydney Swans on 56 points. We've got Carlton in second on 44. We've got Geelong on 44 as well. Now, you've got the percentage 114 to 110. So, yeah.
They're right there, man. They're right there.
They're right there. Brisbane in fourth on 42. Fremantle on 42, Essendon on 42, Brisbane with the best percentage. So they've got 120, and then Essendon's got 98. So that's a real concern for Essendon, to be honest.
Yeah.
Then we've got GWS after today's win have got themselves into the 8 on 40. So you've got GWS, Melbourne, and Port Adelaide all on 40, and Port Adelaide have fallen out of the 8.
Wow. Port
So
out of the 8.
Melbourne's come in and Port's gone out, but they're all on 40, and percentage is 109, 105, 103.
Well, it's tight.
So,
Port's 9th. So who's 10th? Collingwood or Bulldogs?
Nah, Bulldogs. So you got on 36, you've got Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Collingwood, Hawthorn.
Yeah.
So they're the only teams that have got a chance. Unfortunately, Adelaide just haven't won enough games. St Kilda haven't won enough games on 26. So 36 is your cutoff.
Yeah.
But far out, man. I think Collingwood continue to go down if they keep getting beaten. And then you're looking at Bulldogs, Gold Coast. Like, if Gold Coast can't win away from home, then they're done as well. So you're looking at Bulldogs and Hawthorn and Port.
Well, let's quickly take a look at next week. I'm not going to go further into it. So, obviously, we start with Friday night, Essendon and Adelaide. That's a must-win game for the Bombers. Friday night.
Must win, yeah.
Adelaide away from home, like Adelaide's in Melbourne, they need to win that by at least 30 points. They need their percentage up, and it's a must-win game.
Yep.
Now, another game between top 13 GWS and Gold Coast.
That's massive.
Yeah, that's massive. If Gold Coast can somehow get a win away from home.
Yep.
I feel like if they don't win this, I feel like their season might be done and dusted. I just feel like they're not good enough.
Yep.
Obviously, St Kilda West Coast we don't really care about. And another game, Hawthorn Collingwood.
I know. Is that going to be a ripper? That is going to be an absolute ripper. Yep.
If Hawthorn beat Collingwood, they're on top of they're on top of the premiers. Like that's insane.
Exactly. Yep.
Another good game Saturday night right afterwards, Geelong Bulldogs.
Yep.
It's a very good game as well. Bulldogs just beating Carlton, but they're in Geelong, so it's going to be hard.
Tough.
Look, I'll be going for the Bulldogs next week because obviously I don't want Geelong.
You don't want Geelong to win. You don't want them to win. No, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah, no. So hopefully I'm actually going the Dogs there. Then Port Adelaide Richmond, the other Saturday night game, must win game for Port.
Must win. Yep. They can't turn up and put on this crap that they put on today. They have to come out and they have to win big because they need a percentage boost.
30 points plus. They need to. This is the game where they need to make sure they're in the top 8 because after Richmond, they've got Carlton in a Friday night against Marvel. And
that's right. Exactly.
Now, I feel like the game of the round, Brisbane versus Sydney.
That is going to be a beauty.
At the Gabba, I personally think the Brisbane will beat Sydney. I personally think the Lions are personally going to beat Sydney.
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? They're playing great footy. They're at home. Yep. Sydney struggle when they don't play at home. So
yeah, I actually think the Lions will get the job done over the Swans. That's just I feel like it's in the Gabba. I feel like Sydney, Brisbane are playing really good footy at the moment.
Yep,
and I feel like they're going to get the job done.
And that could put Brisbane into 3rd place.
They could go second if Carlton lose.
Yeah, true. No, you're not going to lose against North. Come on.
Well, hopefully not. And then right after that, Freo Melbourne, 5th versus 8th.
That's a big game as well. Yeah.
Another huge game. So look, Melbourne could drop out of the 8. Fremantle, who are 5th, they could drop out of the 8 by the end of the round 2.
They could. Yeah. So Freo they're playing over at Optus in Freo's home game. Yeah. So that's a danger game for Melbourne.
Very, without Gordon Petrarca as well. It's going to be a very dangerous game. And then obviously we end the round with the best game of the all, Carlton versus North Melbourne.
That's right. You'll be there.
Must-win game.
Sunday afternoon.
Must-win game for the Blues. Must win.
You can't. And you need to, and like Harry needs to be kicking 4 or 5 and Curnow needs to be kicking 4 or 6 goals. Have to.
Look, King, King, to be honest, I really don't care about Harry and Charlie next week. I feel like this is where our midfields need to show. This is why we are the midfield.
Yeah.
I think the midfields need a big game. I need Cripper. I need Walsh. If Chera somehow is still in the team, I need Chera to step up.
Yep.
Georgie Hewitt back in the team.
Yep.
As I said, it's just DeConing. I need to feel DeConing's going up against Cherry, who's been really good in really good form.
Has.
Cherry.
Yep.
As I said, Cherry, it's just the midfield needs to win it for the Blues next week. If they really want to show why we're going to make finals, the midfield needs to show why we've got this far. But yeah, look, this is going to be a big week, man. We're coming towards the end of the season. Things are getting exciting. So
that's it. Yep. No.
Everyone's probably doing the AFL ladder predictor at the moment. They're all nervous. They want their teams in the finals, but yeah, it's big couple of games coming towards the end of the season, King. So
how's your Supercoach travelling? Are you going okay in that? No,
terrible, mate, terrible. I've really called it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll start next year, mate. I'll focus on next year.
There we go.
Terrible.
Well, it's been an awesome episode 3 of After the Game. This is an awesome catch up that we do and just wrap up the games for the weekend, and really good chat about Carlton. And look, they've just got to lift, and they've got to turn things around pretty quickly. And it's coming up to the pointy end of the year, and there's a lot of teams that have got to stand up. Like that top 8 is going to be five or six teams are going to be fighting for that 8 spot. So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to, yep. I feel like Sydney are the only safe team in that top 8. I feel like Carlton are not safe anymore, King, after the last 2 weeks.
No, I agree with that. Yep. 56 points. That's a big gap between 44 and 56. You know, you've got a nice buffer up there. They could have a couple of weeks off if they want to. So
yeah, they can start resting players now. They're 3 games clear. So.
Yeah, they can. Yep.
But you can't go this week against Brisbane at the Gabba. If they rest.
No, they have to
big
play.
Game this week.
No, full strength has to be full on, and we see who the big guns are. So yeah. No, it's been a good show, and thank you to everybody on YouTube who's been watching along and been in the chat. Also, thank you to TikTok. We've gone live on TikTok again this week, so thank you guys for coming in. Lots of hearts and lots of follows as well. So thank you very much for TikTok, and we will be back next week with episode 4 and a happy Johnny Carlton after we get a win on Sunday night, straight after the game. It will be as well.
I know, right? That's what I was about to say. It might be later, to be honest.
We might delay. Yeah, we might start about 8:30.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I quickly need to get home after the game. And come on.
Yeah, no, we'll wait till Johnny Carlton gets home from the game, and then we'll put the show on. So we might be a little bit later, but we will be here. So
cool.
Thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Have a good week, Johnny Carlton, and have a good week, everybody.
Mate.
And don't
forget, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Take care. Spike your hair.
Take care.
Also, Tuesday night footy show. Come and join us. We've got the panel on. And then we've got some blockbuster games coming up on the watch-alongs next weekend. So that's going to be really good. And just block your ears for a minute, Johnny Carlton. State of Origin Wednesday night. Game 3. Watch-along. Come and join the King. And we'll watch the final game of the State of Origin, New South Wales versus Queensland. So... Don't forget, guys, stay hunky.
Stay hunky.